Sorry, I was saying that sorry I'm late, but I'm here now. I just want to know what I've missed. All that I know is that from yesterday, Divya is the catalyst to chess growth. So I'm going to look for Divya so that my chess improves exponentially. Uh, that is what I have. Sorry, I was saying. Figured out. Okay, great. Let's jump to Morris versus Daniel. Daniel, you expect Morris to win? Okay, he's up a pawn. Yeah, he's up a pawn on the queen side. What I don't like is the. Oh, was he worried about this? Yeah, his opponent can try and fight for a draw if you do this. You would have to seed one of them. That complicates the game. Actually, but you wouldn't want to tie your guys down like this. You probably would. I don't know. I'm just wondering why he didn't actually. I get centralizing the king. Like, that's what you want to do in the end game. So, like, fully understand that, fully agree with that. Just wondered why he didn't just go for this. Because in the end, you still do have this pawn passed. Your rook can support it, so on and so forth. He's still giving you the opportunity to play this. Now, this is not that big of a deal, in my humble opinion. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, okay. I see this now. Actually, yeah, you can come in this way. And basically, the rook has to go back because you can't go up. You can't go here as well. You can only trade or something else. And what this leaves you with is a pass pawn in the center and then two of these. And then a pass pawn on the king side, right? Mm. And I think your knight and your king can deal with this. Your opponent has to deal with these. I think that's the big issue here. I mean, even if he does go this way, it's almost the same. You can't come in here. You can't come in here. You have to go back. In which case, we can retreat. I don't know. I do think he's going to take here now. Either that or he's going to play another pawn push. The worst part about this for white is the bishop, right? He's locking his bishop behind the pawns. So you can also take that side and go, okay, I'm in no hurry to help you free up your pawns. So you could start with this. Keep the bishop locked down by the pawns. You could start with that. It's all good. I mean, maybe you even... No, I don't want to start with this because of the other stuff we've seen. Before I start with this pawn push, then you have this. So you don't really care so much. Oh wait, there's more moves. No, there's more. Okay, sorry, those are my moves. Wari Gold versus Aquanda. Wari Gold looks... Oh, okay, Italian. I was wondering. Wari Gold doing to Aquanda what Morris wanted to do to him. Nah, these guys didn't come to play. These guys didn't come to play. They came to play chess. Oh, the bad lines keep piling up. But these guys didn't come to play. They came to play chess. Knight takes d5. Give me a second. There was something. Can we do this? Oh no, the bishop. I wanted this because if he does this, then we have this. That was the trick I was hoping for. Unfortunately, the bishop exists, but we could still sidestep this way. If he goes pawn push, then we have this. then he probably plays this or something. I'm trying to see if we have something despite not. Nah, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so just win the pawn and be done with it. That's fine. That's possibly the way to go. Let me turn off my. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to turn off my notification. Sorry, I had to rush here. So, oh boy. Still some things I have to deal with. Give me a second. This is gonna be scuffed for a few minutes. Give me a second. Okay. Why is my notification still making noise? Right now. Okay, let's just go back to a live move. Actually, it's very difficult for me to figure this one out. This is what I'm looking at, but I don't know if you really want to do like it's any move leads to something that puts you in trouble. Very difficult thing to figure out here. Going this way still brings this, yeah. I wonder if now we can go this way because if we go check again, then we have this. And this is where it gets a little problematic. I could be wrong. But it gets a bit problematic there. So yeah, the new guys are really bringing in the heat. I saw briefly on whilst I was not around that Mr. Philip was beating Prince Akpa. I don't know how much that has changed, but yeah, he clearly has an issue that for Prince Akpa to solve. Okay, so I'm guessing the previous what? So why didn't he play this in this position? Ah, Queen takes. Okay, I'm just dumb there. Yeah, so now he's just removing the king. I think his next move is going to be somewhere like rook to c6. And find ways of still developing the pawn ever forward. So like, um, hmm. The move to play is the issue. Okay, we could play this to try and open this assault. Right? Takes, maybe we sacrifice it. Nah, I'm not liking it after this. Yeah, well, if you take back, then you just lose the bishop. Yes, I don't like it after that. Queen b7. Okay, that prevents the pawn push. Oh, sorry, that prevents him from retaliating. So that's like preemptive, because you're expecting your opponent to want to play this. You can still play this now, though. That hasn't been stopped. But do we just focus on this pawn? Is there not any other thing we can do? Whoa! Okay. I will get on that. So sometimes the reason for the errors is the boards, right? Mind you, the boards don't have where white is facing and where black is facing. So like they don't have the letters and the numbers, so you don't know who is playing what. And sometimes I think when cares, I don't know if it can be set up in any way, shape, or form, right? I don't know if the board just I don't know how the board specifically works, but sometimes the issues have to do with how the board is set up. So sometimes someone will be playing as black, but it's reflected based on the pairings, but it's reflected as the person playing as white. So it's mostly done. It's mostly with setting up the board. And there are times people have been told not to play with the boards, like play games on the boards when they are done, and they end up doing that, and that messes up. So it's what happens live on there. Unfortunately, I'm not there. I'm not present at the venue now. Next week I'll be present at the venue, so I can deal with that like instantly. But I will relate to Maxwell and those who are present there at the venue. Thank you very much. 5-time national champion. Thank you for being around. Let me send the message to them right now. So we'll take a look at that as well. Actually, thank you for bringing that up. Let me open this up. Where is this? I'm just setting this up. I set this up the last time. I forgot to set up this time. Um. Okay. Give me a second. Sorry. Um. Okay. Good. Okay. I've sent the message to them. Okay, so I'll let you know whatever happens over there. But in the meantime, let's enjoy the games. If anything, the pairing should be correct. Um, if I'm to open this up for you guys, where's the playing shadow? So what we're expecting is, let me go. Oh, this is not it. There is a result. So from what we saw yesterday, Hasford defeated Loglo, which is true. Clinton defeated Morris. Prince Akpa defeated Clinton, which is also true. David Adriama, yes. Yes, that's true. Yeah, and Bernard defeated David Amaku. Yeah, we got a draw here. Yeah. So far, everything seems correct. And today we are supposed to see Morris as white versus Daniel. Clinton as white versus Hasford. Akwanda as white versus Clinton. That's why we go. Philip Ameku as white versus Prince Akpa. So far it seems right, but there could be a different situation going on there just in case. So we'll just keep in touch with that. Thank you so much for that notification. How come David Adriama and Bernard's game hasn't gone anywhere? Anyway, this is Akwanda and Akpa. Something wrong there. Akwanda and Akpa. That would be yesterday. Oh, that was yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, Prince Akpa defeated Akwanda. Yeah, that was the case. So we have the tied for first is Bernard, Clinton, and Prince Akpa, if I recall. Yeah, those are the guys who are tied for first. So far, it could be right, but I'll let you know. Philip and Idriama. I think Philip defeated Idriama as well. Whoa. Okay. Sorry about all the distractions. I'm coming from somewhere and I'm getting so many notifications from there. No, that's why normally I like to wait till the second round before I come back. But yeah, don't worry. On leeches. Oh, don't follow leeches. Don't follow leeches. Just don't follow leeches. Just don't. I don't know. It's something that always happens with the leeches, even with the top tournaments. Even with the top tournaments, it's something that happens. I don't know as and why it does that. It messes up something. I really don't know why. I really don't know why. It does do that. It does do that. So if anything, always go to chessresults.com and you'll be safe there. Oh, he did play. Yeah, so it's exactly like I was saying. Yeah, I thought he would wait a bit because your opponent could, like, you don't need to deal with it now. You could, okay, you know, he played pawn. Yeah, you don't, yeah. Even this move is not a threat, so you could play something else. If he did play this, you take here, you still have this threat. The rook can't come in, the bishop can't come. That's why I was like, you could just wait. The only one I didn't support is playing this move. But the idea here is you are keeping the bishop locked behind the pawns. There is a way he can get free of it, but it's going to take some time. Yeah, and that's one of the ways he can do it. He trades. Okay. He has faith in his position. Remaneuvering to what, this side? Staying on the dark squares. That's something you want to do. Your opponent, sorry, what's that? Your opponent has a light squared bishop. You want to keep your pawns on the dark squares. That way, the bishop is kind of useless against your pawns because it can never interfere with their advancement. So you just take here. Eventually, we are going to maneuver our king this way. The problem I'm trying to figure out is what if our opponent, okay, if our opponent tries to gain something here, we can just stop it because pawn push will just prevent any happenings from happening there. Yeah, so bishop takes a3, b takes a3. I'm expecting he would try something like this, but again, you don't want to allow this. It sounds like, yeah, you're stopping the pawn from pushing further, but you are still giving your opponent a way to infiltrate the position. So Even though you can kind of set the bishop in there, I don't think you'd want to play this move. King d6, so that's much better. The king is going to try and... no, I don't think you'd want to do this. I know you want to prevent the king from coming in, but I don't think you would want to do that. Yeah, but doing this kind of locks this guy up, and I don't see the king having any... Okay, he could sacrifice this to get this, but still, I don't think this helps him. Right? So he would have to just watch as this knight gets active and then deals with this pawn at some point. But at a point, you'll be able to go this way. 1, 2, 3, and take this guy, and he can't stop you. So it's crazy. Okay. Okay, how did he deal with this issue? So he did play rook to c1. We got hit with a check. The king jumps into e1. Rook d6, threatening this. King moves again. Rook comes in. Queen moves. I think he's threatening something here. But queen, he allows him to continue checking him. That is actually very interesting. Oh, yeah, I made a mistake. If he comes in here, he loses the rook. Okay, that's sort of bad by me. Check again. Okay, now there's a queen check, but I don't know if you take it now. Do we abandon the pawn and go for the aggressive play? Let's see. Do we have anything here? Doesn't look like we have anything here. Pawn push, I wouldn't be so sure of. Because we have this move and we are threatening to come in here. So pawn push, I wouldn't be eager to play here. Maybe rook again. Here, here. Yeah. 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 Trying to force it, it's not happening. I don't think it's working. He plays queen to f2 check. Okay, but what did he do? He played pawn push. He didn't activate the... Okay, he wants to keep the pawn advanced. Okay, that's fine. But now this game is looking more drawn than anything. At first it looked like Warigold had something, but now it just looks like it's drawn. Maybe now he has something. Next. Okay, we still haven't moved the pawn. He's still trying to find a slow way of doing it. Okay, so now we get pawn push here. We do have a plan of this. Maybe he'll step in here to try and slow down the idea. Still doesn't work. We can definitely come in this way. I think Mr. Phillips' plan is this pawn. I don't know if like overemphasizing on this pawn is actually going to work. But so far he's doing a good job of covering everything. King e8. The king moved back. Wait, where were we? We were here. The queen went back. Then he was bringing his king forward. King steps in. Knight steps in. Point is we are threatening pawn push with check. Then the king goes back. When you see this, be happy as a chess player, right? When your opponent is just repeating stuff and he doesn't have anything, it's nice. It just means that any move your opponent makes to destroy his position, so the only thing he can do is to just move his king. Like whenever I see stuff like that happening, I am like super happy. But my opponent has nothing to do. Oh, the power of Divya. Let's see. Okay, nice. if there's any attempts. Oh, he did play rook fd8. Mm. I mean, it's the most obvious thing. You're trying to wait. Who's up my material? 5-on-4, 2-on-1. Okay, we have equal material, but white is closer to promoting. I'm looking at like f3, bishop h3. Maybe f3 at some point. Maybe you don't want to play this now. Maybe you want to play like f3. Then you have ideas of bishop h3 because pawn push takes. Okay, maybe f3 is too. Yeah, I think f3 and the rook look quite slow, but I don't like the fact that this bishop is stuck here when it has potential over here. So f3 will go h3 or f1 into this square. But it looks too far-fetched. He goes h3 immediately. That's like giving this up. Actually, he's not giving that up because if bishop takes, if rook takes, then there's a back rank issue here. Can I see your comment? Yes, I do. I do see every comment. Yeah, because if you go knight takes, then we have bishop takes with check, right? Okay, but he's going. Oh, what's up with this? He plays king f7 here, and now we can play f3, right? Bishop takes d6, rook takes d6, rook takes rook takes c8 is there. Then there's bishop takes d6. Sorry, there's bishop takes d6. Rook takes c1, rook takes c1, rook takes d6. But then at the end of that line, we have rook c7 check. Like there's so many things that can happen in this one. Like if you take here and then takes here, and then takes here. Sorry. Takes here. We have rook here. And that's an issue. He did play bishop takes. So now you want to take this way. Takes here, bishop takes. Then you come in this way. Bishop is hanging. If rook comes in defending, you are happy. First of all, you have spatial advantage here. Your rook is on a very nice rank. And yeah, that'll be cool. I think even with this, you can even go f4. Okay, so this is we are going to see this exact line. I'm trying to wonder. I'm wondering if there's any kind of like intermezzo move I'm missing. No, yes. Okay, for example, I was thinking this exists, but I forgot this guy's hanging. So yeah, not much is happening here. And this is the moment of truth because you could go this way, you still get pinned. Good morning, Kojoaka. Yeah, okay, so he decides to go this way. He's keeping his pieces closely packed. But I think in this position, this is going to come in. I do wonder though. Taking is bad for black, so that's fine. Yeah, that's if he pushes. That's the only way like this makes any sense. That's the only way this you get this advantage if he pushes. Brief summary so far. Well, the power of Divya surpasses all. That's the best summary we have so far. We have Bernard Anwere, Prince Akpa, and Warigo tied for first. The usual people you would expect are at 1 or 1.5. And we end day one with the most shocking result so far, which is Clinton at 0. Now, he does draw in this third round against Asford. But what this means is that Clinton cannot lose or draw if he wants to qualify. Because you are playing 9 rounds and you need about 7 points. Because these guys are just going to fight hard, right? I would like to say 6, but we even saw that in the phase 1, 6 points is not doing anything with how bloody things are. So at the stage that Clinton is in, he needs 7 wins or 6 wins and 1 draw, which is, you don't want to be in this kind of scenario so early in the tournament where every game is a must-win game. I don't know. Again, this is whoever gains top 5 in this tournament represents the country at the Olympiad. So it's not a joking matter in any way, shape, or form. Oh, okay. And I'm sorry. Apart from that, sorry about that. And apart from that, are the results showing on the they are. So apart from that, we see that Morris also didn't have a good. I was actually hoping that he would do like extremely well. So we see Akwanda, who has represented the country many times without fail, at 0 points, which is shocking. Forever, I've mentioned him, which is also shocking. And Morris, I mean, you would say not shocking because like they are first timers, but then you see Warigold here doing crazy stuff, right? Warigold defeated Clinton. Prince Akpa defeated Clinton. Like that is performance here. We see that David Adriama was dethroned. By dethroned, I mean his title of unbeatable was destroyed by Philip Ameku. He was not able to survive that position. But we still have the former national champion. Sorry, I want to leave section. The former national champion, 3-time, I think, national champion at 1.5. He's not far behind, but the race is crazy. If there's anything else you need to know, is that it is confirmed that we will have a new national champion. Former national champion Philip Selikem Yao declared that he would not be participating in the tournament, which is the means by which Daniel qualified, right? Because he would not have qualified. Funny thing is, whether Philip Ameku qualifies or not, he's still going to be at the Olympiad. Yeah, that is true. No matter what he's going to be. But he's actually shocking me. Look, I know he's 1900, but I don't expect him to be training and to be on form, right? Because he's been handling administrative, governmental kind of issues. And those things take away from your chest. So I was not expecting him to do this well in the tournament, but he did. So that's nice. This move I'm trying to understand. So I was thinking we are going to get pawn push first. I don't see what he was worried about in this position. I don't see any sacrifice. I don't see what he was worried about in this position because the next move is going to be this. And if plausible, like let's for argument's sake do this. We after this move. Okay, wait, no, it doesn't work this way. Sorry. I was trying to get a scenario here, but this move does. I'm trying to get a scenario here where this is a bad example, but I wanted to get a scenario here, and we can get this, and then remaneuver our queen here. Like there's a plausibility of such an idea working. It doesn't actually work when I look at the board. Are we? I don't know, that's strange. Bishop back. I don't know. This move is just okay. Queen still doesn't want to take because that's losing a queen for a rook, which I think is very like strange. Again, this is all superficial. It's not going to happen exactly like this. That's not how chess works. I'm just looking at possible ideas. Wait, don't we just take here? Rook takes is probably a problem, but then we have a 4. Oh, no, still. Yeah, this is a mistake. No. Yeah, takes here. You have to be careful about pawn push, but you're still fine. After this, you go this way. There's check, you take, but the queen can't do anything. Like this check is irrelevant. So I don't know. The bishop makes it difficult to push b5, sorry, b6, but we still have this. And this can lead to a trade of queens. I don't think he wants to see that. Is there some trick? I don't see. If there's a trick, I don't see it. But he should always be aware of this. If I'm Philip, I'll always be aware of that. I'm seeing, trying to figure out if there's something else you'd want to do apart from this. Last check. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like I don't see how black recovers from this. Let me see what the engine thinks. +2. The engine doesn't value this position as highly. Let's see. Bernard's position is, at first I was looking at it highly, but now I don't know. It doesn't look. Yeah, this prevents the king from developing. I don't like his position now. Maybe you shouldn't have just gone for this. Like after this here, maybe you should have gone this way. Can't tell. So he did go for that. Again, now that you've taken this, always be aware of this line. Your opponent could try something like this, and if you take, there's a possibility of this. It doesn't work now simply because of, like, we can see that it's defended. But it is like something that your opponent can do. Actually, we even have this check. Actually, oh, I just noticed this, so we go this way. What I noticed that if we do like allow this, oh, it doesn't take that. I thought we had this. Yeah, we do. It's always about finding a means of survival. Yeah, this game, I'm not seeing it going anywhere. Oh, we did get all these funny lines I was mentioning. Okay. Don't see this ending in a win. I mean, it's too equal. You could argue that you could make a pass point here, but I don't know. It doesn't look straightforward. What? Why would he go for that? He goes for the queen trade to win the pawn. Understandable, you win a pawn, but the pawn is still pushing forward. Somebody's playing 4D chess here. Well, I actually have to learn 4D chess. I've not learned to play 4D chess before. I don't know why black would go for that. Does it really give black enough chances to survive? I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it makes it harder for white to keep pushing the pawn forward. But as it stands now, I still feel like the king has nothing, right? Because you come in here, you just get hit with it. You have to go back. That's that. We even have this here. Yeah. That's like interesting. Knight c3 is the move he plays. I'm a bit different there. Okay, we do have this now. I don't like this one. Um, I think here, I think white is okay. Black is okay here. I think black is okay in this position. How you can't like rook b3. I don't like it when things hang in the balance like this. Again, it's Mr. Philip. Maybe he knows what I don't know, right? He knows what I don't know. Not maybe, he does know what I don't know. As always, guys, if you haven't already, please remember to Subscribe. It really does help me out. We are at 511. Yesterday, I was so happy when you guys followed. We are 511. We are 489 away from 1,000 subs. So, guys, I was about to say something very silly, but please subscribe. It really does help me out. I'm wondering if we actually messed things up right now. After this bishop move, I'm wondering if we've actually messed things up. Bro, July is too far. The target is March. The target is March. We need it before March. Certainly before July, but we need it before March. We aren't waiting that long. We aren't. Wait, let me reconfirm something. Why we go draws? Oh, okay, yeah. This game was going nowhere. Yeah. Phoenix Prodigy, good to see you. I've not seen you in a while, like live. I didn't see you live the last time. Maybe I did, I don't remember. Worst case scenario. It's still too long, bro. Worst case scenario? No. Yeah, this game was not going anywhere. At the point, it felt like, you know, when I saw this position, I was like, damn. Like, Warrior Gold is really putting in the work here. And then it's like, nothing happens. I really don't know if he should have just ignored it. Like, was it here? Just ignored it and gone this way. Like, okay, take and maybe fight for something. I don't know if that would have worked. That's my whole point there. I don't know if it would have worked or if it was worth a shot. Because if you can't do anything, you are going to feel the power of you're going to feel the lost pawn. This is losing because we have this. But like, yeah, I was really concerned about like how the follow-up would be. But after we got to this position, this is just a draw. And Akwanda will take the draw. He might have a conversation. I did one during the President's Cup when I drew against Akwanda. That's my second game against Akwanda. The first time I lost. My second game against him, he was asking me a question that if he makes a move, what move would I play? And I was like, accept the draw and I'll tell you. Because the last time I made that mistake, I told the person, and yeah, that's what happened. Like, sometimes just secure the draw first. Some people are like crooks. I remember some years ago when we were students, Clinton was playing against a certain guy, very strong, and he underestimated Clinton, and Clinton was beating. I think he was like 500 or 400 rating points stronger than Clinton. And the guy was like, resign. He said resign. Then he made a move and he hit his clock. And Clinton was relaxed. Like, Clinton was relaxed, sitting down there. It's like, okay, the guy has resigned. So he was trying to call the arbiter. And the time was still going, and the guy was still looking at the board. And Clinton was wondering, like, what's going on? When the arbiter came and he was like, what's going on? He said, oh, my opponent has resigned. His opponent said, I never resigned. Like, that was the craziest thing. Because Clinton sat down for almost 5 minutes. The guy made a move and hit his clock. And Clinton was relaxed because, okay, my opponent has resigned. And trying to get the arbiter's attention at that time was Mr. Solaris, who, the late Mr. Solaris. Very sad that he passed. But he was waiting for him. And by the time he came, his time was low. Because Clinton was already low on time. So by the time Mr. Solaris came, Clinton's time was like 2 minutes. And the guy was at like 15 minutes. So when Mr. Solaris was like, what's the issue here? It's like, oh, I didn't resign. Clinton got so angry. He ended up winning. Clinton ended up winning, but that was like so annoying. So secure the draws. Like, if you are drawing, secure the draw. Don't assume anything. Psychological warfare. No, that's just bad manners. That's just bad manners. Like, I I lost respect for him when he did that. It's like, come on, you resigned. Like, just be honorable and resign. Why would you resign? Shake my hand to confirm the resign, then sit down as though you are still playing the game of chess. When the arbiter comes in, you then say you never resigned. And there's no look, we have to start signing contracts in chess. Like, I know that's what the recording sheet is for, but I'm going to have an extra sheet. When my opponent resigns, I'm like, sign here that you have resigned. So that when I call the arbiter, that nonsense doesn't happen. Secure the draws. Like, you sincerely have to secure the draws. So we have rook g6. Okay, this is a draw. I forgot. Sorry. He wins the pawn. Yeah, that's what I was saying. But why didn't he? Yeah, I felt something was slipping here. Because, again, I felt like takes here, then the backward move just didn't make it. I was thinking we go in here. If he comes in here, we come in here. Here, the bishop has no say in the matter. The rook cannot join in the defense or the attack whatsoever. Even if you tried this, there's no trick because it's defended by the rook here. So that's what I was thinking about. But to go backward, I didn't get it. Or maybe I'm missing something. Let's say takes here. Is this possible? Again, we step in here. There's nothing here. What happened? What happened? What? Yeah, and there was even this. Your opponent comes in this way. You jump in this way. Ah, but you lose this guy. Chess is hard. Chess is hard. Chess is hard. Got a personal story to share about a young Ghanaian chess players managed to... Bro, we all have the stories. We all have annoying players' stories. Trust me. Trust me. There's one of them, I'm sure he's also the same person. I told him to stop, but he starts his game aggressive. I'm sure many of you know him. He starts his game aggressive. He starts his game very aggressive. When his attack fizzles out and he notices that he's on the back foot, he offers a draw every single move. It's like when he's attacking you, he's so happy, like he's attacking. When his attack doesn't work, draw. Then he makes a move, draw. You make your move. Then he makes a move, draw. Draw. He says draw for like 15 moves. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Wait. Do we... No, Bishop. I was thinking we could play this, and if this comes in, we have check, and then maybe we can, like, if he comes in here, we have this move takes, and then we take or something. And we are okay. We are surviving, right? Because this guy is hanging. That's what I was thinking. But, of course, the unfortunate thing about this resource is that your opponent doesn't have to take with the king. He can take with the bishop. But if that was not the case, that would have been a nice way to survive this whole position. And that would have been a very nice way to survive this position. So, unfortunately, this is shaping up to be a draw. 15 moves is over. I'm undersaying it. I'm undersaying it. It was, look, I'm saying it was every move, but it was like anytime I think, like he makes a move, hits his clock, goes draw. I'm thinking he's like, take the draw. It's like, bro. Because he's a kid, I didn't want to call the arbiter. But look, like, people are making me change. People are literally making me change. Like, I will start calling the arbiter for the least issues ever. And you'll be like, come on. Like, why am I acting like that? It's like, bro, I'm tired of it. I'm literally tired of it. Like I mentioned, my opponent who used to click his lips or kiss his teeth or whatever it's called. Oh, boy. It throws me the heaven off. Anyway, if anybody is aiming for a win here, it should be black now. Because he has the pawn advantage here. But because they are double pawns here, it's going to be a difficult task. The bishop versus knight is not a very big deal because the pawns are on one side of the board. The main issue about the bishop and the knight has to do with the pawns on the board, right? The key factor is that the bishop can travel long distances. Like the bishop can move from the king side to the queen side in 1 to 2 moves. but the knight needs about 3 to 4 moves or 4 to 5 moves to transfer from king side to queen side. So the ease of movement by the bishop in these types of positions is why the bishop is often, and it's long range, it's why it's often preferred over the knight. But in this scenario, everything is on the king side, so that key strength is no longer existent here. So it's still draw-ish. It's still draw-ish. But if anyone is going to try to win the position, it's going to be black. That was a slip up. Let me see if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overjudging him and he was just completely, it was a completely drawn position from the trade of the queen. So takes, yeah, taking the pawn was actually what was wrong. So yeah, I would have made the exact same mistake as him. The best move here is to go knight c3 and defend both sides. That's funny. And that's chess. This just loses, this just draws the game, because after queen takes, rook takes, rook a6, which is strange. I was looking at this move. Yeah, and I was saying if rook c4, we have this move. But even this is even not good. It's still draw. The fact that you still have the pawn means nothing. Chess is hard. Okay, there's a problem with the board here. There's no way this is what happened. There's no way this is what happened. It's more possible that he took immediately and then we had takes back. That's more possible. But I think the board will correct itself at some point. Because in this position, white is completely winning. No, sorry. Check here. Yeah, that's what's happening. Sounds like delusions of grandeur gone wrong. They play on the assumption that we should fear them and that a draw should be good against a presumed strong kid. No, at that point, it's called begging. At that point, they realize they are mistaken. Now they are begging you. They are begging you. At first, I used to, one time I played in a tournament, online tournament on chess.com, and I was beating the person. And I know it's stupid, but I was that naive and I was that dumb as a child. But I was playing against a kid. I was in my teenage years at that time. I think I was playing an adult. Because once the person started losing, the person was like, please, draw. The person was offering draw. I was canceling. The person started texting me that I'm a 8-year-old girl and my coach is very aggressive. So if I lose a game, he throws a fit and everything. So like she doesn't want to go through that whole pain and everything. So I should just accept the draw, and I accepted. Looking back, that was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. That's why sometimes you see me playing games and I see people offer draws and I'm like, I'm not taking them. It's these things that people do. You learn your lesson and then you don't give people chances anymore. You know? People are always trying to find ways of tricking you and getting a cheap win out of you. Morris defeats Daniel, which was not a surprise to anyone. I did expect it. In fact, from the position we saw, with how bad the bishop was and every other thing that was going on, we expected this to happen. A clinical game by Morris. Let's pray he continues in this fashion because he's not having a good tournament so far. It's not over yet, right? But for those who are 2 games down, like they've lost 2 games, they are in a very bad position. They have to play very good chess from this point on. Otherwise, they just have to cancel everything. I fell for that. I did. Like, I was a very, very nice guy. I'm still a nice guy. I don't think I've cured my nice guyness. I'm still a nice guy. But I was too much of a nice guy in those days. So yeah, I fell for that. I looked at the person's profile picture afterwards. Like some days later, I looked at the person's profile picture afterwards. And there was a picture of a guy. I'm like, oh, did I mess up? I believe that it was somebody. It was somebody. Yeah. So a tournament I would have placed like top 3, 4. Because of that draw, I was top 5, which sucks. That's why I don't take draws. If the position is winning, I'll fight and play for it. If I can't see a way out, I'll accept the draw. And if you think it's a draw, play it out. Even though if I think it's a win and you think it's a draw, play it out. I'm not just going to sit down and take draws. I have changed. Yeah, so what happened, as we saw, he defended. Okay, so we got the trade of the pawns. The king came in, like I mentioned, the king would step in. This is like he is baiting his opponent to play this move. It's not a good move. Jumps in this way, and the knight comes in, right? So let's go. Did he play pawn push? He didn't. Okay, and now he focuses on the queen side. This is the principle of two weaknesses, right? You are likely to lose this pawn, and your opponent will try and promote here, and your opponent can also create a pass pawn over here as well. So, and the problem is that it's not easy to defend because the knight stands there. So yeah, he's trying to come in from the back, but it's a little bit too late because the knight jumps back to defend. We can play pawn push. The king will not get here on time, right? So for example, if king comes in here, pawn push, king comes in here, we can take first, right? The king doesn't defend the pawn in time. There's this though, which maybe I should take more view of, but I think after this move, your opponent takes, you go pawn push, and it's going to be difficult for your opponent to stop you from promoting. So I think all of it is fine. T'Chaka, you will understand. Let's just say that you will understand. I'm not okay. It's going to be like I'm calling you a beginner, but I'm not. But what you realize is that sometimes people just don't see what's going on the board, right? Sometimes people just don't see what's going on the board. There's on the board chess, there's off the board chess, and sometimes nothing is going anywhere. Now, in this position, I'll agree with you. I will agree with you on this position, but some draws are just draws and should not be played on. I think playing on some draws are bad, right? I have nothing to say about this draw. In case anybody thinks I have some behind the scenes filler, even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. But I have nothing to say about this draw. Sincerely, I have nothing. I just said that for fancy, but I have nothing to say about this draw. But it's understandable, right? Think about your tie breaks. Think about your tie breaks. If Hasford offers you a draw, more or less you take it. If you think about tie breaks, you take it. Because to lose to any of these guys is going to affect your tie break. So if I'm looking at it from that point of view, I'll think about my tie breaks. Right? In my game against Hasford, even though it was a draw position, it got to a point where I was the one pushing for a win. But I'm like, no, losing this would be a big deal. So I'm like, okay, let's focus on tie breaks and everything. And I was quick to accept the draw. That, and also I was afraid I would mess up the position, right? But yeah, I would agree. How do we know Hasford offered it? Let's see. We could say Hasford offered it because he was the last person to make a move. No, sorry. No, Clinton will be the one who offered it, right? Because you have to offer the draw on your time. You can't offer the draw on your opponent's time. So if anybody offered the draw, it would be Clinton. So yeah, I would suppose that it was Clinton who offered the draw. But I'm saying that if you were playing and Hasford offered the draw, there's a likeliness that you would take the draw. Right? It's something I'm beginning to understand about chess. You know, you think it's like some conspiracy going on, like people are fixing matches and everything, but you sometimes try and understand that, look, sometimes you want a good tie break and you are expecting your opponent to do well in the tournament, those kind of things. Like I'm just spewing stuff here, but yeah, I used to think that when you see these quick draws, it means that there's a conspiracy going on, because I watched Pawn Sacrifice, the movie about Bobby Fischer, and that's what the Russians were doing against him in some tournaments. So I used to think that was all a conspiracy, but I realized that sometimes you just want a good tie break, or you don't want to waste your energy against specific opponents, and that's why you play in a specific passion. That's basically what I realized about some of these positions in chess. So T'Chaka, like, that's what I'm saying. We want to see fighting chess, but sometimes you just have to understand that it's not worth it. It's not worth it to go. It's not worth it to do all that. we have technical draws, okay, but not when there's so much going on and not repetition of moves. It's against such that we have tournaments that can't have moves until move 40. That's like a very high tournament, but there's no move. There are no draw offers until move 20. So that's the rules for Ghana. There are no move. They were doing it allegedly. Yes, we don't know until there's anything we don't know. But I've come to realize that. Oh, yeah, think about the Russians in the movie. Yeah, yeah. I mean, so yeah, I've come to realize that it's not always a conspiracy. Sometimes it's just I want a good tie break, and this helps Clinton. If it helps anybody, it helps Clinton. If it helps anybody, it helps Clinton. Right? Where are we? Maybe I shouldn't have said that. People are going to think that there's a conspiracy. There's no conspiracy. I shouldn't have said that. I was just trying to explain why people take draws on and off the board, right? Sometimes you realize that it's not worth it. So, for example, like you see at the end of phase one, people were just accepting draws because the top three boards knew that they were going through. So, like, there was no point in playing for a win at that point. Like, why would you stress yourself in that scenario, right? So, in that case, after like 20 moves, they may even just play a Berlin and then draw. Or even after 20 moves, they may just agree to a draw. It doesn't mean that the match was fixed. They just know. Like, chess players understand. Right? That's why a chess player resigns. We understand that the resignation is coming before the checkmate comes in. Or we understand that there's a draw coming before. Like, it's an understanding thing, basically. All this talking to just try and wash over any mindset of this thing. Yeah, like, it looks suspicious, but it makes perfect sense. It looks specific. Okay, so we are left with two more games. Wait. Okay, so Morris has his first win. Daniel has not won a single game. Look, you don't want to be in this kind of position. I mean, he might understand because of like his level. I've not played against him before, but like this is first time I've faced two, so he might understand. It's like your first time playing a chess tournament. It's not nice being at the bottom of the table. Like every game you are going to lose, it really hurts your psyche. I remember when I started playing chess fresh, I'm like, am I ever going to win a game? It's so frustrating. We still don't have any move from here. Have they agreed to a draw? Because I mean, no, the board is there's a mistake with this board. Sorry, there's a mistake with this board because he played this and takes, and instead of seeing a captures immediately, we see rook move, we see this, and then we see take. So there's a problem with the board. I'll find somebody on someone who is live and know what exactly is going on. As always, please remember to subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out. Those on Twitch, you can go the extra mile and donate. That does help me out. When we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we will have access to YouTube memberships so that YouTube can help as well. So we have a pass point here, and now it's all on opposition, Zugzwang, so on and so forth. The person who has the extra pawn, the person who has the pass pawn is winning. So even though it looks like what do you call it? There's a battle line drawn here, or sort of white is the one winning. I can't see a scenario where this is not a win. The question is, how are we going to... This is just a rough idea of what's going to happen. Actually, if this happens, we just win from here. Actually, if this happens, we just win from here. But the scenario I'm trying to draw is that we'll have to get to a point where we leave this pawn and our opponent will resign from this point. So at this point, we can even say that his opponent is... I mean, even if you come here, it's not a big deal because we just play pawn push. You take, we play pawn push. I mean, here, play pawn push, pawn push here, and now we can start checking. No, not today. Today is a tournament stream. We are covering the nationals. So we are just going to focus on that, and we shepherd the pawn, and that ends the game. Nice. That is how the cookie crumbles. Look, he was not able to put the nail in the coffin for Adriama in phase one. He's showing us that he had the ability to, but he was just taking his time. Right now, the power of Divya is strong on him. He is not letting this slide. He is winning this with everything within him. If he goes this way, you have to think a little bit. You can't just rush to the conclusion. Maybe you have to play this force either here or here, and that helps you. Because if after this move you go pawn push, maybe just maybe this may be a draw. I think this may be a draw if this is what happens. Yeah. So I think you have to be careful here in this position. Yeah, he does play that. If you play pawn push, then the position is a draw. Yes, you did, but today is not that kind of a stream. Like, imagine going on chess.com whilst they are doing pork champs or whilst they are doing Title Tuesday and telling the commentators that you want to play against them. Does that ever work? That's what I'm trying to say here. So what we are doing here is a commentary stream, not my normal streams. If you want to play against me, I play against viewers on Fridays. Mondays, I do ELO branding streams. Tuesdays, it's steady stream. So if you want to learn chess, you come on Tuesdays, and on Fridays I play the viewers. So today is not that day. Yeah. So sorry about that. Yeah, so king b4, and that's the move we are talking about. So now the king cannot step forward, right? This square is covered, this square is covered, this square is covered. He goes back. You now step in here. He tries to gain the opposition, but you have an extra pawn move. If this happens, you can just sidestep here. There's no point in trying to fight to do any of that fancy stuff here. And we've looked at this already. Pawn push, takes, pawn push, here, pawn push, here, pawn push. And you can just sacrifice the queen because you just feel like sacrificing your queen for no apparent reason. So yeah, George, come on Friday. I will play you without hesitation, but this is not the time. Okay. The power of Divya, guys. The power of Divya. All of you become fans of Divya. That's point number 2. To become a strong chess player, number 1, play the London. Number 2, become fans of Divya. He's Divya's number 1 fan. That is all you need to win. So always be careful. Don't auto play your moves. Like someone would just play b6 here. That just loses. That just draws the game for you. Because you can't do anything. Actually, wait. Here it's actually, yeah, it's still a draw. I thought he could infiltrate here, but I forgot that now this allows this. And you are the one who's going to be suffering here because yeah, you are the one losing now. That's sad. But thank you for subbing and liking. It really, I really do appreciate that. It's just today is not that day. Yeah. Yeah, and now the Undertaker has nothing. Like, this is one of those scenarios where the Undertaker has nothing. Look, I really want to meet her because like everybody has good things to say about her. Like everybody enjoys her company. Like I really want to meet her. So hopefully in 2 years I'll meet her. This year's nationals, there's no Olympiad. So I mean I could win the nationals, get my rating up, then next year win some tournaments, get my rating up so that I don't even have to play phase 1. What do you guys think about that? That's crazy. But it'll take me a while to do that. Give me a second, I have to pick this. It's necessary. That I did not know. I did not know that there are many DVS. I mean, that's completely fine. George, you are free to do that. I've said it already. This is not the stream for that. If you are not happy with what I'm saying and you want to unsubscribe, that is completely. I cannot force you to do anything here. So, do we have a resignation? Do we have a resignation? He's still playing on. I don't know why people do it. Again, I know, I understand. You can be walking it off, right? You can call this walking it off. I do it sometimes, but I don't do it till the end of the game. Like, what happens is, like, when I mess up, let's say I was winning the game, I was drawing a game and I mess up. I'm like, I sit on the board and I'm like, what on earth was I doing during this game? Like, what on earth was I doing in this game? Then I make a move and I'm like, why didn't I just do this? Why didn't I just do that? Why didn't I just do this? Why didn't I just do that? Like, I start thinking like that. Then after like 5 moves, I'm like, okay, I'm okay with myself. I can resign. But these guys will play till it's the end position. And it's like, come on, you are not Magnus Carlsen. You can't squeeze water out of stone. Oh boy. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, is this because of the time, or is this because of the position on the board? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Because here the time is on 0.00. But I don't know. Is it because of the time that the board is telling us this? Or is it because Prince Akpa actually won? Because that would be the biggest upset. Because White was 100% winning. From this position, White was the one taking over the game. Like, Mr. Philip was leading this position. Then all of a sudden, with a move that you wouldn't really expect, like he's losing the pawn. It's like, oh, I'm just losing the pawn. Like, he's giving up you think he's just giving up a pawn? It opens you up to this draw position. And Mr. Philip responds slightly unoptimally. And okay, this is not the position, but let's just leave it here. This is where the position was. And you are saying he won? Let's just put a pin on this. We cannot be confirmed about this. Let's put a pin on this. I'll notify you guys in the 4th round. We have another round today. I'll notify you guys on the 4th round, and we'll see what's going on there. What? He went about it differently? Oh, okay. He's not greedy like me, right? He's not greedy like me. Angela Iku calls me is she a candidate master? She calls me a pawn star because I like taking pawns. I said we play this, and if he plays this, then we go pawn push. Maybe there's something wrong with that because I mean the king never gets close to it. Yeah, and that's about it. That's about it. So I'll put a pin on board 4, which is Prince Akpa versus Philip Ameku. But we do have Morris winning. We have Clinton drawing. We have Akwanda drawing. And we have Bernard winning. So that makes Bernard, that's if Prince Akpa, if his game is a mistake or whatever, we do have Bernard as our sole lead. If not, he's tied with Prince Akpa. What that means is that Bernard might be playing Prince Akpa, right? I think he's playing Prince Akpa. Let's see. Let me show you guys this. Boom. He might be playing him. Yes, the fight for first, Bernard versus Prince Akpa. Wait. By now Bernard should be 1900, right? With the wins he's had, with the 2 wins he's had, he should have gained rating points. Yeah, he's gained 16 rating points. Again, we still have to wait till the end. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Okay. Sorry, why are they saying this? This is not accurate. Or whatever it is, we'll leave it at that. Has he given up yet? Bro is playing on. Oh, he's about to get disrespected. He's about to get disrespected if he doesn't stop. Okay, but we always want to look for how we can mess this up. So let's say king comes in here and we go this way. Yeah, this is a way to mess it up. This is the way you can lose. So if there's any loss going to happen, that's the only way it's going to happen. We can also, like I said, we can also do the disrespect. Boom, boom. Here we go. you can always shepherd the pawn. Whether you move here or here, you just shepherd the pawn. You can get disrespected that way. But the drama is definitely playing to the end. Yeah, pawn push, check, king moves, and you're like, okay, I'm just waiting for you to promote. And after you promote, it's just another promotion. Right. That's life. Why is he playing on? I think this is not this. I say this, but you guys should see me play. You guys should see me play. I would annoy you as well. You guys should definitely see me play. You agree with playing with the end, then Prince Papa Kojoaka, we disagree. We finally have something we disagree on. Sorry, I have to finish this up. This is the last thing I have to do, and I'm in a sense done with my phone. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Time ended. That day has finally arrived. I disagree. When you are the one playing, and it's like they are like real stakes. You are just going to hope for your opponent to make a mistake, right? You are just going to hope for your opponent to make a mistake. But like if you are sitting here and you just want the round to end so that you can take off this hot stuff and relax, you are going to be like, yeah, why don't you guys just resign? That question was asked to Magnus. It's one of my favorite clips of Magnus. uh Somebody was like, one of the interviews, it was one of his world championships, I think, when he was playing against Sergei Kayakin of Fabiano. He was like, so Magnus, when did you know that the position was officially a draw? Because you kept on playing the position when the engine was like 0.0. That's what the reporter was asking Magnus. I'm paraphrasing. And Magnus was like, I knew it immediately, but I realized that there's a possibility that if we get to this position, he can slip up on this one move, and that gives me the ability to take over the win. But he also added a snide comment, and I don't remember what the snide comment was, but yeah, it was a very nice video from Magnus. Sometimes the reporters struggle to ask questions. I realize that they just want to ask a question, either to get their name on the board or either to get something. But mostly during these World Championships matches, the post game interviews that they have, mostly you just see that people get angry. Like the the candidates for the world champion get angry. They just get angry at the reporters. I remember somebody asked, I'm talking like this because this is ended. I remember somebody asked, why is his name what? Hitting. Why can't I remember his name right now? Wow. Anand. Vishy. Somebody asked Vishy that, what was he thinking about? Was he thinking about winning in this position or something? And then he said, no, I was thinking about what to have for lunch. Those interviews are just the funniest interviews ever. So yeah, I think finally we have the official resignation. So again, I'm putting a pin on Akbar's game because I don't know exactly what the conclusion of the matter is for that one, because the position on the board does not make any sense. So I'll inform you guys, unless of course they've updated it over here. Let me check. if they've updated it over here. If not, I will update you guys. Okay, it's been up. Nope, it's not. Sorry, I almost messed up there. Yeah, so I'll update you guys on it in the next round because they're uploading the result and everything. You've seen the Magnus video, and Anand wasn't in a good mood. That's what happens, right? So sometimes I'm like, I always ask myself that if I had the opportunity to be there and ask them a question, what question would they like? And I've realized that off-board questions are what they like, right? I remember Magnus, not off, when I say off-board questions, I mean nothing having to do with the game they actually just played. Because I remember one of the questions that Magnus seemed to enjoy was Andrea Botes' question, how does a knight move? Which was like an homage to what he said, what he did to her. And there's another one, like many of the off-board questions, like how do you spend your day and all those kind of things, they seem to enjoy those questions more than questions on the board. I don't know why. I'm always thinking about if I had a chance to ask them a question in those interviews. Maybe one day I'll be able to watch the World Championship live. Okay. So guys, thank you so much for being with us for this first round. The next round, yesterday, the next round started at 3. And it was mainly because they were playing the Blitz section. So, I don't know. It's supposed to start at 4. I'm expecting to start at 2. But whatever is the case, when it starts, I'm going to be watching to let you guys know. So just, if you haven't, you can hit the notification bell, subscribe, follow, so that when the next round begins, you will be up to date on it. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in a few hours.